Hi, everybody. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wentz. Wednesday evening, you know what that means. It's time for Region Weather Live. We have quite a bit of active weather, believe it or not, even in the extended. I know we got just done with active weather. We had the storms. What a storm, too, that was actually classified as a derecho as that went through eastern areas of Indiana and then down towards Ohio and Kentucky. I think you guys have probably seen that video out of Fort Wayne that we had from those storms the other night. Just incredible. They measured a 98 mile per hour wind gust, the highest wind gust ever reported at Fort Wayne. It's just incredible if you saw that video. But anyway, you think we calm down a little bit, but we're not going to. We've got some more storms in the forecast. We're going to track where those storms are tonight and the potential for them to move into Northwest Indiana. And then we talk nice weekend. I've got great news in the extended, but then we're back to the heat next week. So we'll talk about all that and more in this edition of Region Weather Live. Still haven't updated that winter graphic. I got to do that. I'm going to add it to my list now. Update winter graphic. Okay. Winter graphic. Will do. Okay. How's everybody doing tonight? I got to tell you, today I'm a little late tonight than normal. Normally we do this maybe an hour earlier. So I had the best surprise. I don't know how many of you follow me on the social media side of things. It's Wentz Weather, but they've been doing, I do the 5 o'clock news locally and I do the 11 o'clock locally. And gosh, we had just the best surprise today. It's, Father's Day weekend coming up, and the producers and everyone arranged for my family to come surprise me during the newscast tonight. I did not see this coming, and normally I see surprises coming. So it was so sweet. I'm in the middle of doing the forecast, and my wife shows up with my 3 kids, and it was super cute. And they came, and I was crying a little bit, all right, because it was nice. They've never come to see me at work. My wife's busy feeding them, put them to bed, stuff like that. It was just so sweet. And so I posted the full thing on my social media channels. And again, it's Wentz Weather, and that's on Instagram or Facebook. But it was just wonderful. So that's what I'm getting out of tonight. I'm still kind of like just really family oriented tonight. It was just such a nice surprise. And they did the weather with me. It was super cute. The anchors let them sit in the chair for a little bit. It was a wonderful, wonderful evening. So all that to say, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You make a difference in the kids' lives. And I'm telling you, fathers are just so important. Mothers too, I get that. But, there's something different about daddies. So all those of you making a difference for your kids, keep at it. All right, a couple things we're going to talk about. Obviously, want to thank our sponsors. Tiger Plumbing continues to do a wonderful job at all the work that they do for Northwest Indiana. But if, it's not often you need a plumber. But if you do, Tiger Plumbing is a place to go. They're family-owned business here from Northwest Indiana, and they've been in it for 30-plus years, and they've been making people happy, even some of our region weather fans and community here. They've done some work. They don't charge trip fees. They come out for free, analyze the problem, and they will do great work. So let them know Region Weather sent you. Also, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It is full-on Jeep season over there. They've got Jeeps on the lot, and they said they're going fast. So if you're in the market for a Jeep, or maybe you want to get something that has better gas mileage than what you have right now, that's certainly important. That is a place to be, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. All right, let's get into the forecast part of things. I want to start with, actually, we'll get to the dew points here in a second. I want to start with big picture, because we have some storms off towards our west. This is the big satellite picture. This tells a big story. We've got, obviously a frontal boundary here. You can see the storms developing Wisconsin. These are the high cloud tops that go up. But notice this swirl. This is what tells the story. The swirl up towards areas of northern Midwest and North Dakota, South Dakota. That is the area of low pressure coming at us, and that has a fall-like air mass behind it. We are going to go from the hot and humid over to fall this weekend, and it's going to happen. It's in a matter of 2 days or so, and it's going to be like kind of cold outside. It's kind of weird how quickly this will change. But in terms of storm chances tonight, we are watching storms fire up. I'm going to zoom in here for you in areas of Illinois. These have been on the potent side. They've had very heavy rain as well. Some of these have been severe. We've had a lot of hail reported, some strong winds, and there's lots of lightning with these. I mentioned this earlier today. These storms I was expecting to happen late tonight, if not overnight, and that still looks to be the case. And I think they'll be in the weakening phase as they move in. You notice the line doesn't have a lot of eastward progression to it. The individual storms are moving kind of parallel to itself, right? They're all moving from southwest to northeast. So it's going to take quite a bit of time before this gets in here, likely after midnight, maybe 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They're on our doorstep. But I want to show you the modeling in terms of this, in terms of where these go. I'm really not that concerned about this line of storms tonight. So here we go. This is the latest HRRR model. You notice as we go through time, still storms. This is now, let's see, this is midnight, 1, 2, 3, and then look, they just kind of go away. Frontal boundary goes away. It kind of loses its forcing with this. And then as we go through time tomorrow, they reignite way off towards the east. So not a problem, right? You can see how that frontal boundary is down towards the south as well, firing them up down by Indianapolis. Not a big deal, okay? Problem is, let's look at the NAM-NES. This brings a little bit more activity in here tonight. I don't see anything severe. Our atmosphere is certainly primed for that, but in terms of severe weather, I don't think it's going to be very widespread locally. I think we'll keep it off towards the west. So here's the NAM-NES. You see it still has storms. We're now at midnight. This is now 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It has some of the storms going through the region. Again, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. But I don't see a lot of potency to it. These look pretty decent. Like we may spark a severe storm if this model holds true, but I'm not really buying this model a whole lot. I do kind of agree with the HRRR on this, that most of it dies out tonight. We may have a rumble of thunder. Don't be surprised if you wake up and, we do have a rumble of thunder moving through with some rain, but overall, it doesn't look like any widespread severe weather is expected tonight. So that's great news. That's a break we need as this frontal boundary goes by. So let's talk about this frontal boundary because this is some great news. I want to start you out with dew points. So this measures how muggy the air feels. Numbers have been just off the charts over the last couple of days. Remember yesterday, if you've noticed the difference between yesterday and today, it's much less humid today compared to yesterday. Yesterday was just so thick. We had that pool of dew points that developed out over the corn in Iowa. I'm not kidding. We talked about this a couple of Region Weather Lives ago, how the corn crop sweats, okay, and it puts out moisture in the atmosphere, and it's more humid in Iowa this time of year than it is in Florida, all right? So we had a pool of that develop. The frontal boundary and the winds kind of carried it in, and we had some incredibly high dew points yesterday. It felt so thick outside. It was just awful, right? Today was bad, but it wasn't as bad because dew points have fallen from upper 70s to near 80. We had some 80-degree dew points yesterday, down into the 70s today. So it's still humid, not as bad as yesterday, but still humid. Watch what happens as we go through time. So this is tomorrow. And again, this cold fronts this time of year tend to lag on the cold air behind it. So the front will go through tonight and tomorrow morning, but we don't get cooler behind that. It takes some time. It usually takes about 24 hours for the cooler air actually to get here. So you notice as we get into the morning, it's still going to feel humid tomorrow, despite the fact the front's east of us. By midday, we're still humid. But by afternoon, we start to bring in some drier air. Those 50s that you see on there, that's comfortable air. 60s are still a little bit humid, but not bad. But look what happens into the weekend. So we kind of sit around the humid category over, the course of your Thursday night into your Friday. But Friday, there's another frontal boundary that goes by, and this has fall written all over it. I mean, it really is some chilly air for this time of year. What a difference. So Friday night, we've got very comfortable air moving in. And look at this gush of air coming in from Canada. We may have dew points Saturday and Sunday in the 30s and 40s. That's air you can't even feel. It's going to be so nice for our Father's Day weekend. If you have Saturday plans or Sunday plans, gone are the upper 90s with 110-degree heat indices around here. And hello 70s for highs, maybe even 60s in spots, and low dew points. It's just going to be so refreshing this weekend. It's going to be great. You wouldn't expect that to last too long, right? And don't, because next week we're back to the humidity. As you can see there, we're back to the heat. So last thing I want to talk about, then we'll open up your questions, is the heat. And we're going to go apparent temperature because this is what matters this time of year. Here's our heat indices tonight. Here's tomorrow. You notice how we've got numbers that are still pretty warm tomorrow. I mean, we're still feeling like the mid and upper 80s tomorrow, right? So that cooler air doesn't get here yet. By Friday, the cooler air's here, so it feels more like 70s and 80s, very comfortable, right? And then watch Saturday. Look at that, feeling like 60s along the lakeshore, low 70s inland. Just a beautiful day. Remember, you get in the sun and it feels 10 degrees warmer. So, a 68 degree apparent temperature. If you get in the sun, it'll feel more like 78, but just downright comfortable on Saturday. Sunday looks good too, but look at the heat building back towards the west again. These are heat index temperatures, right? These aren't temperatures, air temperatures, but you get the idea. We've got heat going all the way up towards Minnesota again. It's much the same setup we just got through. So by Monday, we're starting to get hot around here again. Tuesday, we're in it. Look at the heat indices on Tuesday, 102 perhaps. So we're back into it on Tuesday. That comes with humidity and it sticks around. 103 perhaps on Wednesday. You notice how the boundary kind of sinks south of us perhaps by Thursday. But that heat's not going to be far off, especially into next weekend already, as it looks like it's just going to kind of relock and reload. And I'll tell you, we're getting into a pattern that we're gonna have some hot days ahead. Out of the next 10 days, it looks like about 7 of them are on the hot side. So, 'tis the season for sure. But, if you're hoping this cool air sticks around this weekend, it's not going to be the case. Okay. It will be back, but enjoy the weekend. We deserve it. All right. As always, let's open it up to your questions, and then we'll get you on your way here on this Wednesday night. Again, I appreciate you guys joining us here on the late side of things. Sunday and Wednesdays, we typically like to do these region weather lives. We'll give you the information so you know what's coming at you for the week ahead or heading on to the weekend, which we do right now. And then we open it up to your questions, whatever you happen to have. So for sure. Hi there, Jeff. Just joining. I got your message there. Vince says, appreciate what you do, Matt. Moved to Lowell from California. These storms freak me out. Your broadcast puts your mind at ease. Vince, absolutely. Listen, storms don't need to freak anyone out. We got your back. And I always explain it to the kids, weather school, stuff like that, doctors know the different parts of your bodies really well. They can do stuff on your heart, if they're a heart doctor, all that stuff. Meteorologists know the different parts of thunderstorms. Okay. So there's nothing to worry about when these storms come in. As long as you're prepared and you're connected with either a meteorologist who's talking you through it, or you know how to analyze a radar, there's nothing to be scared of with this stuff, right? As long as you know what's going on. Brent, that's awesome. I appreciate that feedback for sure. Your warnings Monday night helped us protect our staff in Lansing. We evacuated them in our safe room for 30 minutes. Brent, you're absolutely welcome. I appreciate all the support that we had. Let's see. Yeah, and great day to go to the zoo. Oh my gosh, Sunday's just going to be so nice. So nice this weekend. I'm telling you, both days are going to be great. Sunday will be the better, though. Evie asks a great question. Will we have a lot of wind tonight? I don't think so, Evie. I think in terms of wind tonight, it's been pretty breezy throughout the day. We're out ahead of that front right now. These storms are capable of producing some wind tonight, but I really don't see big thunderstorm threat tonight. These things will be dying out as they move in. There's not a robust area of low pressure like you get in the spring and the fall that really stirs up the wind. So no huge winds expected tonight. Jeff, no problem. The storms are off towards our west. They're pretty potent right now. They're going to take forever to get here. So they're probably here 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they'll be in a weakening phase. So we may have some lingering storms that roll in, if the models aren't handling it well. But I really think a lot of them are going to be in the weakening stage, and some of us may not even see rain tonight. So I'm not worried about a severe threat tonight. Holly, it's going to be okay by the lake on Friday. Friday's a good day for the beach. It's Saturday and Sunday that it gets cooler near the lake. So here's Friday. There you go. So, it's cooler near the lake because it's further north. Michigan will likely have, if you're heading up to Berrien County, it'll be chillier up there. Temperatures will be probably low 70s. But for us here in Northwest Indiana, we'll likely stay in the upper 70s near the lakeshore. So not a bad day for that. Mike, I hope that answers your question for sure. And you are welcome about the coverage. I was beyond terrified when that thing went through Northwest Indiana, heard the sirens, right? The sirens tend to freak people out, right? If you have a lot of counties, if you have, let's say Lake County has a little sliver of it under a tornado warning, oftentimes the whole county will send up, the sirens, even spots that aren't in that little polygon. And, that kind of, it freaks people out. The sirens aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to tell you to get inside if you're outside. You're actually not meant to hear the sirens if you're inside. That's not what they're meant for. But, a lot of people, I got a lot of messages that day about the sirens and how, what's going on? Is there a tornado coming? And that's obviously we're doing the coverage during the time. But, there's nothing to be scared off with this stuff as long as you're informed. Just if something like that happens and you don't know the weather forecast and the sirens are going off, you see a storm coming in, just get informed as quickly as you can, whether that be a local meteorologist we're usually here for you, right, when stuff like that happens. But I use it just as much of an educational portion as anything else. All right. Hi, Debbie. Let's see. Maxwell's at the dunes seeing if you can see lightning over the lake. That's always the best, man, when you can see the lightning from Wisconsin or Chicago coming in, for sure. Yeah, Brent, boy, so you're going home tomorrow, buddy. Okay, be safe. Yeah. Brent was in my neck of the woods, Holmes County. They had a tornado. They had a tornado warning. I was going live with that Monday night. They didn't confirm anything down there. They said it was straight line winds. Back in Richland County, which is Mansfield, Ohio area, they confirmed an EF1 tornado, 3 tornadoes around that area. Morrow County and Knox County had them too. Jay, it's going to be great, buddy. Enjoy it. Yeah. Oh, so Char's asking about so my Facebook page, just search Matt Wentz is my last name. It's, if you can also type in Wentz weather, that has it. I posted it on there. It's on my Instagram page as well, but it was I'm not kidding. I'm so blown away by it. It was so special. Ash, I don't think so. No, I don't think we're going to get bad tonight. I don't think there's anything to worry about. These storms are going to take their sweet old time getting here. They'll be here after you go to bed. So head to bed. We may have some thunder and lightning from these, but I don't see anything severe tonight moving in. The HRRR model, we went through that earlier. It doesn't have any rain coming in. It has it all shrinking in coverage. I don't know if I agree with that. I think some of it will hold together, but, will it be severe? I don't think there's a lot of dynamics with it left. Yeah, Mike, that's a great question. So Mike's commenting, and guys, I want to touch on this because I got a lot of pictures as well about the yellowish sky that we had with the storms, right? So that's super interesting. It doesn't always mean hail. It's the greenish sky that often indicates there's hail. But the yellowish sky happened to be with the fact that these storms were coming in late in the day. So the sun angle, the sun's going down, right? These clouds, and some of them were measured over 65,000 feet in the atmosphere, which is just incredibly high. But the clouds go way up in the atmosphere. So the sun's going down, but the light rays are still shining up, right? That's why the sunset changes. You get the different colors as you go up. And, the sun has set, but you still have clouds that are lit up in the sky. That's exactly what happened. These storms came through. It was getting closer to sunset. And so the sun's angle made all of the clouds yellow just based on the angle that they were at, if that makes sense. If these storms would have come through at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock, we wouldn't have had the yellowish sky. That was all due to the sunset. It had nothing to do with the severity of the storms or anything like that. It was the sun's angle and the cloud's height that did that. So I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. And I hope that helps explain it too. It's kind of cool. Susan, I appreciate the sirens too, for sure. Yeah. So the sirens are mainly just for outdoors. So make sure you guys have, because some people don't live by areas that have sirens and maybe you can't hear them. So just make sure and I'm sure all of us are up for this now, but make sure you have a way to get warnings on your phone, whatever that happens to be, right? You want to sign up for the emergency alerts, the weather alerts on your phone, because, if you don't live near a siren or you didn't hear a siren and you were in a tornado warned area, that's a problem, right? Yeah, Don, for sure. Yeah, all sorts of little nuggets for sure. But yeah, putting on your shoes during a storm. If ever there's a tornado warning, just a good tidbit is to get your shoes on. The helmet's another good thing. I know that's not, something sexy to talk about, putting a helmet on during a tornado warning, but the shoes are important because, think about it. I mean, you look at some of these pictures of what tornadoes can do, like out in the plains or anywhere, and these folks are coming out of their basement or their safe place and everything's a mess, right? There's nails everywhere. There's glass everywhere. Think about if you don't have your shoes or you don't have your phone even, right? Not that the phone would work if something bad happened like that. But, I would always say, keep your phone in your pocket, get the helmet on your head, get your shoes on your feet. It's not that we have to deal with that very often, but that's, when we have that, doesn't hurt to do it, right? For sure. Mark, you're welcome. Yeah, no problem. Ash, you're welcome as well. Evie, thank you very much. Danielle says grandson's first birthday Saturday. Oh, that's awesome. Danielle's going to be fantastic. There's not a weather problem in the sky. You might need a light jacket. I'm not kidding. We may have lows well into the 50s Saturday night, maybe some 40s on the board too, for sure. Yeah, Bonnie, River's a handful for sure. Yeah, you guys can meet my kids if you look at that on there for sure. It was intense. Tomorrow strikes Monday. Oh, Debbie, I hear what you're saying there. How many lightning strikes? At one point, there was over 1,000 with that storm in a 15-minute period. I was doing some queries after the fact of not just that storm, but the Fort Wayne storm. Both were just all those storms were so electric that night. But at one point, there was over 1,000 lightning strikes in 15 minutes out of that storm that went through. It was just incredible, right? Susan, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful Father's Day weekend. I got to tell you guys a little secret. I don't know if there's going to be time for anything extracurricular, probably not, but I'm going to a wedding this weekend in Chesterton. It'll be my first time back in the region in quite a while. So I'm super excited about that. But I wanted to do like a coffee or something date, and have a little get together with our region weather folks. But my wife says, that sounds great, but there's no time. So she's right. We're going to get away from the kids for a little bit, which we never do. And anyway, so I'll be in Northwest Indiana this weekend. So that'll be a lot of fun. Maxwell, that's interesting. I haven't checked on this Sahara dust in a while. I would imagine this wind would break it up by now, because it usually makes the course through the Gulf of Mexico, and sometimes the systems can pick it up. So it must have made the course over towards Gulf of Mexico, and then the southwest wind's picking it up. But I would imagine with the strength of the system, it's kind of dispersed by now. But you're probably right. If you heard it was that, everything you see on the internet's true, but everything you usually see on the internet, Maxwell, really is true. Thank you very much, Danielle. I appreciate that. Mark, thank you, buddy. I was thinking about stopping by Lakeshore, firing up their TV side of things again, but I better not. It'd be fun. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Oh, Tom, wait, Mike just said something else. Tom Skilling was saying the supercell on Monday just blew up out of nowhere, but what actually caused it? Was it a cold front or just how hot it was that day? So what it was, it did blow up out of nowhere, but that was one of the threat areas for these storms. That storm, my philosophy for that, or my thinking behind that, there was that supercell in Michigan. Remember, it went from Wisconsin. It caused hail in Madison. It caused hail in Milwaukee, and it went across the lake. And my theory is that created an outflow boundary. So outflow boundaries, when you have a lot of rain or hail coming down, that brings a lot of air down to the ground as well. When that air hits the ground, it can't go in the ground, so it goes out. That's the gust of wind. Outflow boundaries are that gust of wind you feel out in advance of storms. So my theory is that storm in Milwaukee created an outflow boundary that sank south into the north suburbs of Chicago. That happened to be right along an instability boundary where we had extreme instability, meaning or little instability. And what happened was you get that puff of wind or that gust of wind came in, and then boom, once it hit that instability boundary, it ignited. And I'm pretty sure that theory is correct. So I don't see any other way that storm formed, but I'm pretty sure it was an outflow boundary from that Milwaukee storm that hit our instability boundary that we were talking about, where the train track is going to be. If you joined me, last week, that's kind of where we went. Okay. Hope that helps. All right. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Love you guys as always. Enjoy the weekend. All right. We'll probably have, actually, for the first time in a long time, we'll probably have limited posts this weekend. We'll try to get something for you, but you're not going to need them, and that's the whole point of Region Weather is I don't want to fill up your inbox or your Facebook, feed and all that stuff. So we probably won't have a lot of posts this weekend. It's going to be beautiful. The other cool thing, real quick before I let you go, if you regionweather.com, we post all the same stuff that we post on our Facebook page, except for we don't go live on it. That's the only thing. We go live on Facebook and YouTube. But if you go to regionweather.com, you can sign up for email alerts. I think it's kind of cool. You get an email when we post, and then you click on it, and it takes you to the web article with the picture and all that stuff. We try to post something on there once a day. So it's kind of like a daily weather update on there. If you're not a big fan of Facebook, if we're not showing up in your feed and you want a weather update, just go to regionweather.com, sign up through the email thing. We've got quite a few people signed up for that. I want to say like 800 or 900 people that get the emails and stuff like that. And it's non-invasive. It doesn't, come in your face. It goes in your inbox. And you can click it whenever you want. Just something to do in case you maybe want to get away from Facebook. Sometimes, some of us do. So that's just the way to go. Okay. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Have a wonderful end of your weekend. I'll keep my eye on those storms tonight. Again, I don't think there's much to worry about, but we'll keep our eye on those just in case something, changes, but I don't think anything will. Okay. Enjoy the nicer weather. Days to come. We'll talk to you on Sunday night.